Hey guys, it's Quickly again with another ROM review, and this time I've got the FreedomOS version 2.2 based on the latest of OxygenOS 4.0.2 for the OnePlus 3, so stay tuned for that. So guys, now Nougat has been here on the OnePlus 3 and it's a great time to have this device. Nougat has been released last year, and this year it actually came to the OnePlus 3. Better late than never, and I really appreciate that. Now I've already done a review for the 4.0.1 version, which was on Experience ROM, and also background, I did use 2.1.1 of the FreedomOS. I really loved it. Already made a video of it, but well, there's a new version out now, so I'm redoing it. So here it is. So let's get started now. First of all, amazing ROM. Let's get started with the settings now. First of all, in the settings menu, you can see in the About Phone page, it is OnePlus 3. You can see the model number is A3003, and the FreedomOS 2.2 version is seen. You can pretty much understand that that is the latest version of FreedomOS right now, which is on the official releases. There is a open beta 11 version, which was, I guess, 2.2 point something. Anyways, the security patches are still December, so that is December 1st of the security patches. Kind of outdated right now because there is a January version available, like that, but hey, we can't have everything. So yeah, all of that is available. Build number is 17014, that is 14th Jan version, so that is the latest version. Now in the extra settings, now being a stock based ROM, you are going to get the best of stability with this ROM and not the best of performance or not the best of features. So you must understand that if you are someone who's going to go with this ROM. So that aside, let's get started now. In Sims settings, you do have VoLTE mode. As you can see, I am using VoLTE. That has been working pretty well. It does have Geo. Right now I am using Geo, and that does work out really well. Sim settings are available. You can customize everything here. Defaults, all that is available. You can do that. Alert slider is working. Of course, alert slider is working because this is a stock based ROM and OnePlus brought out alert slider for this device, so it better work, and it does work out pretty well. Buttons customization is available, where you can customize home button, recent button, and back button. It does work out really well. I really do like that. Gesture settings are available for double tap, camera, toggle flashlight, music controls, flip to mute, and also 3-finger screenshot, which is amazing. I really do like that. Status bar options are available, where you can customize the battery style, where you can have battery bar, battery circle, all of that is available. Battery percentage can be enabled. Auto rotate screen option, if you can enable that. I personally am going to remove most of these. I am going to remove VoLTE because that takes so much more space, but convenience aside, that is just something which I would change. In the display option, you do have brightness, adaptive brightness, which is amazing, and adaptive brightness have really cleaned up from the earlier versions of Freedom, which is Freedom or OxygenOS 3.2.x versions. And I really do appreciate that adaptive brightness now. It is not nearly as jittery as it was previously, so that's something which I really do appreciate. It does have a theming engine, which is dark, light, and default. Dark theme, as you can see, is entirely dark, and that is the right kind of dark and not the HydrogenOS kind of gray dark. So this is going to give you a little bit of battery life extra than the white option, which is due to the AMOLED construction of the screen. So yeah, it also has a blue accent color selector, where you have all of these collectors. Now I would have liked to have a bit more control over the colors because, well, I am a colorful guy. I would like to have a bit more colors, but hey, this is not a Lineage OS or any other AUSP based ROM, so you are going to be stick with the OnePlus, what OnePlus gives you. So yeah, now in Nougat fashion, you do have font size and display size enabler, so you can customize that. Ambient display can be enabled, and it does have proximity wake, and that does work beautifully. That is something which I really appreciate, and that really does work out. Pulse notification light is available. Screensaver, LED notifications are available. Cast, so you do have that. In the LED notification, you do have customization for all of these and nothing else. You don't get to customize the application any LEDs, but you do have third-party applications for that, so that's not a big deal out there either. Now everything else is basically what you would expect out of a OnePlus's OxygenOS ROM. So if you have used OxygenOS 4 before, you know how this is going to turn out. Now if you have been using OxygenOS on the 3 version, which was Marshmallow, you are going to get a lot of different things here, so do be wary of that. Battery, now I just charged this, so I can't really show you guys, but the battery life is actually pretty good. I am getting a better battery life than LionedgeOS 14.1, so that is saying something. Back when Marshmallow was available, that is 3.2.8, battery life was not as good as Marshmallow as LionedgeOS 14.1 or CM 14.1, so that is something which I really appreciate. I do really like the battery life which is given on this ROM, and I can really say this is a stock experience. I really do like the battery experience on this. Apart from that, fingerprint scanner, lightning quick. This is the stock version, so it is going to be stable. I didn't have a single misfire, and well, that just comes with the territory of the stock based ROM, so that's pretty cool. Now it also has an advanced option where you can customize the power on off schedule, because if you are someone who switches off their phone at night, you do have an automation for that. Pocket mode can be enabled or disabled here. So pocket mode is basically when you have your phone in your pocket, that is the proximity sensor is covered. Turning on the screen will give you this the fingerprint, and anything of that sort does not work, so, and it just doesn't drain your battery, so that's just something there. Now in the developer option, you do have stay awake and all of these stuff, which I guess is pretty good. It does have advanced reboot, and it does have dose mode function where you can customize the dose mode. Now this is not a new feature, this was also available in 3.2.8 I believe, and if you are having issues with notifications, well, you can disable dose mode at the cost of a little bit of battery life and get all the notifications instantly rather than this default Android cycle. So you do have that option. Apart from that, you do have WebView implementation, you do have a selector for that, multi-process WebView, all of that is available. Nothing special other than that, and that's not something which I don't like about it. It does keep it simple, and it's only an option if you want to get into it, so that's something there. It also has system UI tuner, which I really appreciate. You do have to initiate that by long pressing the gear icon on the status bar. And the other option, it does have power notification controls, and I do really like that. I hadn't gotten it enabled just because, well, apart from that, nothing special in the settings menu. In the application section, it does come with Wiper for your eyes, which is an amazing equalizer application for music. I have used it on all of my stock based ROM reviews, and it's been amazing. I am planning on using the same script on CM or Lineage based ROMs, and I'm just in love with that. It does work out really well. And to do benchmark score, the score which I received with this ROM, I don't have the score right now because, well, reasons. The score I received was about 130,000, which was on the average. It went down to 128,000. It came up to about 131,000. So I am going to get an average of 129 to 130,000, which is not a bad score, but considering what we got earlier, which was about 138,000 on the Experience ROM, that was a bit disappointing. But this is running the stock kernel. You can install the EX kernel or some other performance-based kernel and get that number as high as 148 or 150,000. So that's not a huge step, but I still believe this does give you a bit more stability and a bit more user friendliness than those numbers, because having a higher number in the performance is not how you should judge the performance of the phone. It should also include the user experience, and I didn't really have any hiccups or any issues with the user experience. I got this with this, so I'm still happy about that. Let me show you guys the boot animation, which is pretty cool. So also it does have this funky new reboot style, but the only problem is it takes way too many clicks to get it done, so that's just there. So here is the boot animation for the FreedomOS 2.2. Now, seeing this, you're going to be familiar with the OxygenOS ROMs, and that is exactly the same, apart from the last bit of animation, which I guess you will probably see right now. So here is the FreedomOS hand, and that is the one which I really do appreciate. So yeah, that should be it about the ROM then. Now, before we leave, I do want to mention that the camera is perfect. Again, stock-based ROMs, it does come with a territory. It is still better than any other CM-based ROM, and I am getting perfect pictures every time. It didn't have any issues, so I am going to be happy about that. Not going to complain. Again, the call dialer and all that is still working, and that does work out really well. That is still something which is going to come with the territory of having a stock-based ROM, so no special there. One thing I do want to note is that when you're flashing the ROM in the Aroma installer, when you're selecting GApps, do select Google search, because if you don't use Google search, if you're thinking of restoring Google search or installing the Google search afterwards, you are going to have problems, because I did have the problems where the Play Store or anything else, I couldn't set up my Google account. That was a huge issue for me, so I had to reflash it again and go through all that again. So when installing through Aroma, do install Google search and everything related to that. It does have Assistant, which is pretty amazing, and I guess that should pretty much be about the ROM then. In conclusion, stock-based ROM, Oxygen OS, so you are going to get the stability which they promise with the phone, so any average Joe can use this without tinkering with the settings too much, so that is pretty amazing. I really do appreciate that. Apart from that, not a performance ROM, not a feature-rich ROM, but I guess you expected that when you're flashing this ROM, so I'm not entirely going to bash on it. Also, the signal quality on the stock-based ROM is much better than the CM or Lineage OS based ROMs, or even AOSP or CAF based ROMs. So I am still getting signal at my college, where on a Lineage OS based ROM I never get a signal. So yeah, that's just something else which you are going to experience with this ROM. So yeah, I guess that much is it about the ROM then. Hope you guys liked the video. Please share, subscribe and like the video if you found it useful. See you guys next time. Bye.